In the heart of the vast African savanna, where the sun kisses the earth with a golden glow, lived a little lion cub named Leo. While his brothers and sisters roared with all their might, Leo's roar was more like a tiny squeak. While they pounced and played, Leo preferred to hide behind his mother's legs, his heart thumping like a drum whenever a strange sound echoed across the plains. Every evening, the elder lions would gather and tell stories of great kings and queens of the past. Lions who roared so loudly the mountains would tremble, who were so brave they faced any danger without a flicker of fear. Leo would listen, his eyes wide with a mix of awe and sadness. He wished he could be like them. "Why can't I be brave, Mum?" He'd whisper into his mother's warm fur. She would nuzzle him gently and say, "Oh, my little Leo, bravery isn't about how loud you can roar. It's about the size of your heart." One scorching afternoon, a frantic cry for help cut through the sleepy air to baby zebra. Zola had wandered too far from her herd and had gotten her leg stuck in a tangle of thorny vines near the riverbank. The other animals heard her cries, but they were too afraid to go near the river. A grumpy old crocodile was known to live there, and no one dared to cross him. The lion cubs watched from a safe distance. "Someone should help her," one of Leo's sisters said, but she didn't move. "But the crocodile," his brother added, shivering. Leo looked at poor Zola, who was whimpering in pain and fear. Her mother was on the other side of a wide clearing, unable to reach her. Leo's heart ached for the little zebra. He remembered his mother's words. "Bravery is about the size of your heart." At that moment, something inside Leo shifted. He wasn't thinking about being scared anymore. He was only thinking about helping Zola. Taking a deep breath, he stepped out from behind the rock where he was hiding. His legs felt wobbly, but he kept walking, one small paw in front of the other, towards the river. The other animals gasped. "Leo, come back. It's too dangerous," they shouted. But Leo didn't listen. As he got closer, he could see the thorny vines wrapped tightly around Zola's leg. She looked at him with big, tearful eyes. "Please," she whispered, "it hurts." Leo knew he couldn't pull the vines with his paws. The thorns were too sharp. He had to use his teeth. But just as he was about to start gnawing, a low grumble came from the water. Two large, bumpy eyes rose to the surface. It was the crocodile. "Well, well, what do we have here?" The crocodile hissed, slithering onto the bank. "A little lion snack come to deliver itself." Leo's fur stood on end. His whole body trembled. He wanted to run, to scream, to hide. The squeak he was so ashamed of was stuck in his throat. He looked at Zola, then back at the giant crocodile. He was terrified. But then he thought of the stories of the brave lions. They didn't run. He thought of his mother's words. This was his chance to show the size of his heart. So, instead of running, Leo did something that surprised everyone, including himself. He stood as tall as his little body would allow, puffed out his chest, and looked the crocodile right in the eye. He opened his mouth not to squeak, but to speak. "Please, sir," he said, his voice shaking but clear. "This little zebra is hurt. She just wants to go back to her mother. We mean you no harm." The crocodile blinked, surprised. He was used to animals screaming and running away, not talking to him politely. "Why should I care?" the crocodile grumbled, snapping his jaws. Leo took another shaky breath because everyone deserves to be with their family, and ... And being strong doesn't mean you have to be mean. Being strong means you can choose to be kind. The crocodile stared at the little cub. No one had ever spoken to him like that before. He looked at the trembling zebra, then back at the determined little lion who stood between them. For a long moment, there was silence. Leo's heart pounded so hard he was sure the whole savannah could hear it. He didn't move a muscle. Finally, the crocodile let out a sound that was almost like a sigh. "Humph, fine," he grumbled, "but be quick about it." And with a flick of his tail, he slid back into the water, disappearing beneath the surface. Leo couldn't believe it. He quickly turned to Zola and began chewing through the thick vines. It was hard work, and the thorns pricked his nose, but he didn't stop. One by one, the vines snapped. Finally, Zola was free. She limped a little, but was able to stand. Thank you," she cried, nuzzling him gratefully. Together, they walked back across the clearing. The other animals, who had been watching in stunned silence, erupted into cheers. Zola ran to her mother, who hugged her tightly. Leo's own family rushed to him, covering him in licks and nuzzles. "Leo, you are so brave," his brother said, his eyes full of admiration. That evening, as the sun set and painted the sky in shades of orange and purple, the elder lions gathered again. But this time, they didn't tell stories of kings from the past. They told a new story. The story of Leo, the little lion cub who faced a giant crocodile, not with a mighty roar, but with a mighty heart. And as Leo sat beside his mother, listening to the tale, he finally understood. He might not have the loudest roar in the savannah, but it didn't matter. He had found his own kind of courage. From that day on, Leo was no longer known as the scared little cub. He was Leo the brave. And every now and then, when he practiced his roar, it sounded just a little bit louder, a little bit stronger, echoing across the plains, a testament to the fact that true bravery comes from the heart. Thank you for watching our story today. If you enjoyed Leo's adventure, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing tales. See you next time.